All right, so we're back and ready to dive in
Yeah, definitely.
to a pretty interesting one.
Yeah.
This is a single source deep dive
Yeah, singles.
from April 5th, 2025, and it's about a La Liga match between Barcelona and Real Betis.
Right.
And this was an important one.
Yeah, this was a big one. I mean, the report really highlights just how big the stakes were, especially for Barcelona.
Right.
Real Madrid had actually lost earlier in the day.
Yep, big upset.
So it was a huge opportunity for Barcelona to really extend their lead at the top of the table.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so like you could almost feel that energy, right? Just from reading the report. Like the fans, the players, everybody knew what was on the line, right?
For sure.
So today what we want to do is like really dig into this match, figure out how it unfolded and why it really matters, for the La Liga title race.
Absolutely.
And for European qualification. So
yeah,
let's
jump in.
Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
The report starts off and it's talking about just how bright of a start it was for Barcelona.
Yeah, I mean, they came out of the gates just firing, I mean, the report describes this beautiful flowing move in the 7th minute.
Oh, wow.
Just classic Barcelona, the quick passing, the intricate play, and it all culminated with Ferran Torres with a great cutback, finds Gavi arriving late in the box.
And Gavi puts it away.
Clean finish, 1-0 Barcelona.
So you got to think, at this point, right, they're feeling good. They're up 1-0.
Yeah.
Real Madrid lost earlier in the day.
Huge momentum.
So it's like this is their chance to capitalize, but... football's rarely straightforward, is it?
Never is. And that's what makes it so exciting. And this match was no exception. It's fascinating how quickly Real Betis responded.
Oh, really? So soon?
Just 10 minutes later, they equalized from a corner kick.
Oh, the set piece, always dangerous.
Always dangerous. And, the report really breaks down the goal itself. Giovanni Lo Celso delivers a great ball into the box.
Yep.
And the Betis defender, Nathan, he just rises above everybody, beats Ronald Araujo in the air, which is... not easy.
No.
And powers a header past Ter Stegen.
So it's one
game on.
Back to level terms, just like that.
Yeah, and you can imagine the energy in the stadium completely shifted at that point.
Oh, yeah. I bet so. I mean, it just goes to show you, right? Even the best teams, they can be vulnerable from a well-taken set piece.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, okay, so then the report really kind of shifts focus to one guy in particular.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Real Betis goalkeeper, Adrian. And it sounds like he just had an unbelievable match.
I mean, he was on another level that day. The report even mentions that he made a big save.
Oh, wow.
Even before Barcelona scored their goal, he denied Pedri from a very dangerous position. So he was clearly locked in from the first whistle.
Right, yeah, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like even as Barcelona is, pressing for that go-ahead goal,
right,
he just kept coming up big.
He was immense. I mean, there was this one save in particular in the 38th minute that the report really highlights.
Okay.
Lamine Yamal, who's, got all that pace and trickery cuts inside,
yeah,
unleashes this curling shot, and Adrian somehow gets across.
What?
Tips it wide with one hand. I mean, it was just an incredible save.
That's unbelievable. And you got to think, at that point, right, for the Barcelona players, it's got to be so deflating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're dominating the game. The report mentions that they had something like over 75% possession in the second half.
Wow, 75%.
Yeah. I mean, usually when you have that much of the ball, you're creating chances left and right and you're scoring goals, but...
Right, but not here.
Not here.
So what happened?
Well, I mean, you have to give credit to Real Betis' defense.
Okay.
The report suggests that they were so organized, so disciplined, they really limited Barcelona's clear-cut chances. They probably sat back a little bit, absorbed the pressure.
Right, yeah, just kind of frustrate them.
Exactly. And then, like we're going to talk about later on with Hansi Flick's comments, the report also kind of implies that Barcelona maybe lacked that killer instinct in front of goal.
Okay, so they're creating chances, but they're not quite finishing them off.
Exactly.
But like you were saying, Betis is defending really well, but even then, you're still going to have some chances sneak through, right?
Right, and that's where Adrian comes in again.
He was just a wall.
Yeah, he was like the last line of defense. And he was incredible. The report talks about 2 more crucial saves he made in the second half. One on Jules Koundé in the 55th minute.
Wow.
And then another one really late in the game. 85th minute, a substitute. Fermin Lopez comes on.
Yeah.
Gets a shot off. And again, Adrian is there to deny him.
Unbelievable.
And these weren't just, routine saves. These were like match-saving interventions.
Right, yeah.
That really kept Barcelona from winning the game.
Yeah, you can imagine the frustration building for Barcelona with each save.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? They just can't seem to get past Adrian. So The report talks about the reactions after the match, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are the players feeling?
Yeah, well, there's this great quote from Gavi.
Okay.
He describes the feeling as bitter.
Oh, wow.
You know, they had this opportunity to extend their lead at the top of the table, and they let it slip away, so...
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, very disappointing for them.
And what about Hansi Flick, the Barcelona coach? Like, how did he see the match?
He seemed to have kind of a balanced perspective. You know, he said 1 game less, 1 point more.
Okay.
So he's acknowledging that they, did get a point, but...
Right, they could have had 3.
Exactly.
They left 2 on the table.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he also admitted that they made some mistakes in the first half, but he praised their effort in the second half, said they played with a lot of intensity.
Okay. And the report mentions that he talked about Barcelona not being merciless with their chances.
Right.
What did he mean by that?
Yeah, so it seems like he felt that they created enough chances to win the game, but they just weren't clinical enough in front of goal. You know, maybe they rushed some finishes, or maybe they didn't test the goalkeeper enough.
I see.
Like, they were creating chances, but they weren't taking full advantage of them.
Interesting. And he also said something about how he hoped that this result would be a bit of a grounding experience for the team.
Yeah, it's like almost like a reality check, you know?
Right.
They might have gotten a little bit ahead of themselves after Real Madrid lost, and this kind of brought them back down to earth.
Okay, yeah, you can't get complacent.
Exactly, you can't get complacent.
So even though it was a disappointing result, it sounds like he was still trying to find the positives.
Yeah, I mean, he did say that he was pleased with their second half performance, so,
Right.
they're still looking to build on that.
For sure. But, I mean, let's kind of zoom out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And look at the bigger picture. Like, what did this draw mean for the rest of the La Liga season?
Well, for Barcelona, it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
They could really put some distance between themselves and Real Madrid.
Right. The report says Barcelona is at 67 points.
Right.
Real Madrid's at 63.
So that gap could have been 7 points. Instead, it's only 4.
Yeah. Huge difference.
Huge difference. And for Real Betis, this draw was massive.
Really?
Yeah, it moves them up to 5th place in the table.
Wow.
48 points. And that puts them right in contention for a European spot next season.
Right. So really valuable point for them.
Huge point for them.
And, I mean, you can't talk about this match without talking about Adrian.
No.
Like, the report makes it very clear that he was the main reason
the hero.
Why Barcelona didn't win this game. And that means that the La Liga title race is still wide open.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a fight to the finish.
Yeah, so let's kind of summarize everything, right?
Okay.
So we did this deep dive into this match report. And what we learned is that even though Barcelona had the majority of possession
Right.
and created a lot of chances,
Tons of chance.
they were held to a 1-1 draw
Yeah.
by Real Betis. And the big reason for that was Adrian, the goalkeeper for Betis, who just had an amazing game.
Yeah, he was a brick wall back there.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. And so because of that, the La Liga title race is still super close.
Absolutely still anyone's game.
And that kind of brings us to a final thought, right?
Yeah.
Like, we saw how much of an impact a single player can have
Right.
on a game.
A single performance.
And how that can then affect
The whole league.
the entire league.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. So think about, like, in the history of sports, right?
Mm.
Have you ever seen like an individual performance like Adrian's
Right.
that just completely changed the outcome of a game, or maybe even like a whole season?
Yeah, or even a whole tournament.
Right. It shows you how unpredictable sports can be.
Absolutely.
Right. And how, like, sometimes it just comes down to one player.
One moment, one player stepping up.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
It is, and it makes you want to keep watching, right?
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you so much for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
And we'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.
Bye.